All right, good morning, good morning, good morning. Notes are in place, sun is coming up.
Yep.
It's now risen from 9 degrees to probably 32. Check when you can. Our local guest, resident and business owner Diane McDonald, is in the house, in the room, in the Harbor View Room.
It's
in a beautiful Harbor View.
Yeah,
it's
a lot of
nice,
people haven't
right?
seen this yet.
Yeah, it's
Again,
gorgeous.
I'll
Gorgeous.
pan the room. It is a perfect place for ladies like yourself, maybe to do a
Yes.
small, if you will, breakfast seminar. I'm just saying.
Yes.
Or other things, fun things, Sweet 16s. It's absolutely perfect. Harbor View,
Daughter's graduation party in June,
that could happen too.
right?
Yeah, that can happen. That's all.
It's
I mean.
29 degrees. It's gone up 2 degrees, just to let you know.
Okay, like I said, when I drove here it was 9, so I'm feeling good.
Feels like 29.
Diane, I love what you're wearing.
Thank
you are now that I'm seeing what you're wearing, and I never comment. Do I ever comment on
No.
what guests wear?
Never. He
But,
doesn't even comment on what I wear, ever.
but A, it's my style.
Okay.
Like, it's something that I would love to see my wife in, and she does
Yeah.
dress like this from
Yeah.
time to time, so that's A, so I love it. And it's peaceful, and I know
Yes.
that's part of what you do.
Well, that would be part of my whole aura.
Right. You're completing your aura.
I am.
Can I say I've been watching your yoga videos because I'm living vicariously through watching them.
Okay.
Never, ever, ever have I done yoga, but I'm finding that I want to try it.
Wow, that's awesome. What
That's
about
cool.
the videos made you feel that way?
Glad you asked, because I'm not just saying, I'm not like giving you, I'm telling you seriously that I'm attracted to these yoga videos. First of all, you're obviously knowledgeable, but they're peaceful. And that's why, that's it. I live with so much non-peace that I'm finding that this might be a way for me to find a little peace.
Yes, it
They were
is.
great.
Yeah.
They're great, right?
Good. I'm glad you enjoyed them.
They're a series, right? Tell me about how you came about them.
So I didn't come up with the idea. I have someone who helps with social media for It Takes a Village Wellness and for A Woman Alive and Yoga Alive, and she said, "Hey, Di, you ought to do like the 12 days of yoga." And I was like, "Oh, what a great idea!" So
Right.
we researched what the 12 days actually were because I didn't really know, and it's actually Christmas Day to January 5th, and we recorded 12 little snippets, and we added the word breath because I love doing breath work with people. So we did some breath techniques and some, short little movement stuff, and 12 days of breath and yoga. It was really fun putting it together.
Are you saying you did it in one day, or you
We filmed it in one day.
you
Yeah.
did the 12 pieces in one day?
So now you know my secret. Yeah.
Smart. Smart. You changed outfits, I think.
I did. I'm giving it all
It
away
is smart.
here.
No, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're actually
Yeah.
talking about because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work.
It is.
It's a lot of work. But no, I look. They're done right. They're clear. And again, you're
Thank
exemplifying
you.
peacefulness in yoga. I don't know anything about yoga, so I'd like to start the conversation with that. And I know it's a small piece of what you offer and what you
Right.
offer together,
Right.
and we'll get into all of it.
Right, yeah, of course.
But what about yoga makes people happy? Or are they not happy at first?
Some of them are not happy
Right,
at first.
right.
So I'll just give you my take on yoga. So my take on yoga is that yoga is a combination of breath and movement. And we often get lost in kind of the movement of yoga, and people think about, flexibility and standing on your head or standing on your forearms and twisting your body into a pretzel. But really, the core of yoga is about breathing and then moving your body with the breath. And when yoga was created thousands and thousands of years ago, it was actually, there's 8 limbs of yoga, and breath and the asana, the movement, are actually the 3rd and 4th limb. And everything else after that is to get you ready for meditation. So what yoga really is your preparation for meditation. And when you think of it that way, it makes you realize that that's why we can gain so much peace of mind and mindfulness from yoga. And at the end of all our classes, we do a meditation. We go into Shavasana so that people can really walk out of the room feeling that. It's a really important part of yoga that's missed.
Tell people what Shavasana is.
Shavasana is laying on your back with your eyes closed at the end of class. I prop up my students' feet, I rub their temples, I give them a shoulder rub, and get them into a complete state of relaxation with their eyes closed. And we stay there for about 5 minutes.
I don't do any of these things, and I so
No, you do
feel.
not.
I feel like just the fact
No,
that
you
you
do
said.
not.
Just
Listen, I'm just trying to get you to drink water. So
You're doing well.
He is doing well. He's doing
No,
much
it's
better.
a full cup of water, and I'm not drinking.
He's doing much better.
Just the concept. I'm gonna break this down for you. Just the concept of being aware of the fact that I do breathe. That would be my first step. I don't even know that I
Yes.
breathe. I just
Yeah.
breathe.
And nobody breathes right.
But it would be
Yes.
cool to be aware of my breath
Nobody
once in a
breathes
while.
right.
I think it's a wonderful thing. I want your challenge. Your challenge to me is because I don't see a lot of men doing yoga. I never hear men talking about yoga. Your challenge is to let
growing.
men know it's okay because I don't know that it's okay. I do feel what you said that I'm going to be in these precarious positions that I cannot do, and I'm going to fail. I'm being honest with you. I'm giving you some hints.
So, and thank you, because now we can kind of integrate those into social media and articles that Karen and I are working on. And I think that one of the reasons that we built It Takes a Village Wellness is because for most people in the world, all of this work, this wellness work, this yoga work, the nutrition work, it's all very like over there and inaccessible
Right.
or scary or I can't do it. And so we built It Takes a Village to be so small and so safe and nurturing. So my yoga studio has 5 mats. And most of the work that I do is private and semi-private. So it's not intimidating. And I can meet every single person who walks in there exactly where they're at. Because we're all at different places.
Right.
And yoga can be incredibly valuable and beneficial for everyone, but it's going to look very different on everybody because we're all different.
I did yoga twice in my lifetime before I met Diane. Twice. And one of the 2 times that I did it, I got hurt because I didn't have someone to kind of mentor me and show me the right way to do it.
If you got hurt, it sounds to me like somebody really didn't know what yoga's about, and they were making it into a stretching exercise. Am I
Well,
wrong?
the class that I was in was really large. There was 20 to 30 people in
So
there.
you were getting personal attention.
So how can the instructor really see? And, there's always the joke where, you walk in, you're totally intimidated and freaked out. You go all the way to the back of the room. You take the last row of mats against the
Yeah.
wall, so nobody's behind you, and that's exactly what I did. That's exactly what we do as human beings. Think about it. When you go in to a conference, where do you sit? You go to the back of the room.
I've taught myself to do differently with that.
Okay.
But you're right. Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
what I did, and I wound up getting hurt, and I did a number on my back. So
Okay.
that's that.
So you yourself were reintroduced to yoga.
Totally, only because when I met Diane a year and a half ago, that's how I got reintroduced to yoga.
Do you have yoga for men classes? I'm just asking. I just because
I don't have a yoga
How
for men
could I do-
class on the schedule, but I would put one on the schedule. I just finished a yoga for golfers series.
there you go.
That was men.
Because
Yeah.
I'm saying to myself,
Fabulous.
how can I do yoga with a 23-year-old girl in front
No.
of me? From both angles. It's just I'm just saying.
Yeah, and actually, and here's where I'd like you to start. I'd like you to start doing privates because that way we can really get you ready. And
For a little class.
And after a few privates, then you can move on to a little
Right.
class. And actually, you can also go to a bigger studio,
Right.
Because you'll know the mechanics. I've worked with you. I'll given you the little tips to watch out for, so that what happened to Karen doesn't
Right,
happen because that
exactly.
happens all the time. People walk into a studio, it's a huge class, and it's not the teacher's fault, but they can't see what's going on all the time.
Yep.
And there's just too many people to make that possible. And beginners are trying to move in a way that they actually shouldn't be trying to move
Yeah.
because the postures are too advanced for them.
That's it. Because I couldn't really see the instructor. So what I did, I looked to the right and I looked to the left.
You were learning from people that were learning.
That's a hot mess.
Say, Hannah,
And they probably were not in the right position to begin with anyway.
Speaking
so.
of hot, what is hot Bikram yoga?
Oh, hot yoga.
I don't even know if I'm saying it right.
Diane's taught my
It's
yoga.
my favorite.
Yeah.
You love that? Everybody I talk to says, I tried it, I was scared, I didn't like it.
Yeah.
But yet, to me, I think it would be great.
It's great. It's great. Hot Bikram is my favorite yoga. I integrate it now into the work that I do. I'm not teaching the real Bikram series, but I use pieces from it. It Takes a Village Wellness is not 105 degrees. We keep it around 77, 78. So it is warm so that your muscles stay loose and you don't overstretch. But Bikram is a series of postures. It's the same every time you walk in the room. The room is 105 degrees and 50% humidity, and it's an incredibly challenging practice.
Why is that heat necessary?
The heat is necessary because it helps lengthen out your muscles so that you're not at any risk of pulling a muscle, tearing a muscle. You're going to allow your body to open up slowly and gently throughout the class. So the class starts with breathing to warm your body up from the inside out, and then you continue that and you go into deeper and deeper and deeper work throughout the class. So you do 45 minutes, about 45 to 50 minutes of what they call a standing series. And the joke in Bikram is you get through the standing series and you've done all these postures and you're using your strength and you're like, oh my God, I can't move anymore. And then you lay down into Shavasana, and then we do the floor series. And part of the dialogue for Bikram says, now we get to the heart of the series. That was the warm-up. And it really was, because that was warming your body up. Now we're on the floor, we're doing really deep postures where we're really constricting joints to open up blood flow, to get more fluid in the joints, to start to get rid of calcium deposits in the joints, to do really deep stretching, and that's where the really deep healing work of the yoga happens.
But you would agree that if somebody's never done it before, it could be a shocking experience? I mean,
Very.
Yeah, okay.
Very.
Yeah.
My first time I had a panic attack in the room.
Right, you felt claustrophobic maybe.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was in Massachusetts, and it was like 30 years ago.
Okay.
And I felt completely claustrophobic, and I literally, my heart rate was going, and I was pretty new to yoga at the time, and I had a friend who did a ton of Bikram, and I really wanted to learn how to do it. And I literally I go, I gotta get out of the room, and they go, no, you gotta stay on the mat, and I'm so glad they did, because I stayed in the room, and it was my main practice for years and years. Yeah.
Very cool. Good. Let's stay on It Takes a Village Wellness business, which is pretty new. It's not even a year old, right?
No.
Wow. So, and you're in Port Jeff, and so just let's walk through the series of services that you both offer.
Sure.
Your wellness. I mean, you both have your specialty, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, one of the things you do is yoga,
Yes.
and then there's a Pilates. Is there other parts to that? There's partner kind of services within this It Takes a Village, correct?
Yeah, so the concept of It Takes a Village was to build a roof, right? To build a house for us to have a collaborative of holistic, like-minded practitioners who could offer healing and wellness to our community in a really safe, nurturing, and small, individualized environment. What you say?
Yep. That's it.
So we have a collaboration of people. So Karen and I co-founded the center together, and my forte is yoga privates and instruction. I do a lot of breath work, meditation work. I'm also a life transition coach, so I do coaching out of the center. And that's kind of the bailiwick of my work in the center. We have a manual physical PT, Mark Marino, who's just
amazing.
Kind of an amazing miracle worker. I have a story about what happened yesterday I can share. And then we have acupuncturists, and we have Karen, who does the nutrition work.
The show, of course, know
Yeah,
that
they
you're
know
a nutrition
what I do. Yeah.
expert on that. So you're right. Under that one roof, you pretty much have everything you can have to stay healthy and
Yes.
to actually to meet a different health standard. I think.
Yes.
Right.
It's
Yes.
it's preventing disease rather than taking
Absolutely.
yourself into disease and looking for a quick fix. Our goal is to educate people how to heal disease, but then to keep their bodies healthy and whole so that they have less disease.
Right.
There's another aspect of what you're onto now with events, and I know about it because I think we're planning something which could be really cool, from what I understand.
Yes.
Tell us about that. Diane McDonald is doing so. It's A Woman Alive?
It's a Woman Alive.
You're writing a book. There's a bunch of stuff we need to talk about.
This is a big year, 2017.
Yep.
It's a really big year. A year that's been actually...
Did the numerologist tell us that?
No.
Because I met a numerologist at the Tesla event. Honestly.
you did?
And numbers, yeah.
Okay.
Numbers, yeah.
Maybe there's a reason.
Yeah, my new sailboat has the whole number 54, which is the number 9, which is like an amazing number
That's
in
what I'm saying.
numerology. So it's starting the year off pretty well.
Very cool.
We're pretty excited. No, it was just 2017. It's just time. It's just time. So
What's in store?
wow.
Where are we going to start? You're writing a book with a chapter a month, you told me? Or something?
Yeah, so A Woman Alive is a brand that I started about, now almost 8 to 10 years ago, and it was the foundation of my coaching practice, and really it was all about teaching other women how to feel more alive in their life, how to really feel better. And I did my coaching work under there, and I've always been a yoga practitioner, so that's integrated in. And I always have wanted to write a book my whole life. Like, I just wanted to write a book. And so I wrote an article about a year ago called The 12 Principles of Living Alive. And it kind of came from, my dad's a recovering alcoholic. And I love talking to him because he is so committed to AA. He's so committed to his sobriety, and he's really paid attention to his life lessons, and learned a lot through him. And so it kind of had this like 12 steps of AA in my mind, but I wanted to bring it more, make it more applicable to my coaching clients, my yoga students, and the work that I've done. So I created the 12 Principles of Living Alive. So this year, every month, I'll be releasing a chapter of the 12 Principles of Living Alive. It'll be a principle, and it'll have a daily ritual which will ask people to do something every single day, like a breathing exercise, kind of like the 12 days of yoga and breath. It'll be a very simple daily ritual, but it'll be the same thing every day so that you can really feel the benefits. And then it's also going to have monthly activities. So for example, in January, the first chapter is called The Past, the Present, and the Future. And it's about letting go of the past, living in the moment, and intending for the future. And so there's going to be a lot of activities that they can do after they read that chapter to help them intend for the future.
Awesome.
And every month it'll move through another principle.
I want to ask you a question I think is really relevant. I don't know if you're going to be able to answer it. Both of you can answer this. You've seen enough women and enough clients by now to try to answer. What is the single biggest reason that a woman could be denying herself happiness and life? That's a tough question. You may not have it, but I'm wondering if there's one overriding reason that they're not allowing themselves. They could be a couple of steps away from happiness. What is it that's not? Is it hereditary? Is it depression? Is it problems in a marriage? Could you say there's one thing? And if there is, do they not realize how easy it might be to get that roadblock out of their life?
Can I have two? I'll go to one, but I'd really like to have two. But I can go to one.
You can go to two. You can go to two.
For me, I have a saying, and Karen knows the saying very well because it's on our blackboard, and it says, if you believe it is impossible, it will absolutely never happen.
That's an easy one because they're not allowing the possibility.
People are very programmed in our culture, in our society, to
Deny.
believe in a list of shoulds and to deny ourselves. And all of the things that we do from the time a child is born, as they're growing up, is we tell them the way to do things. There's a right way, there's a right way, there's a right
Absolutely.
way, there's a right way. And so our belief in magic, our belief in anything being possible for ourselves gets diminished and squished down over time. So when we sit with an individual who is overweight, or who hasn't moved, or who has, a disease or cancer, or is just severely depressed, and we say to them, it is possible for you to heal, they look at us like we are crazy.
Yeah.
And that is the piece, because once they can cross that bridge, and believe in possibility, the rest is easy. It's not easy, it's work, but it comes.
But you have to get that whole belief system in, get them to feel that and to believe that again.
Yeah.
I know it's hard. It's hard. You had a second one. I just want to hear the second one, and then I want to talk about it a little bit.
The second one is breath. Most people, as Karen said when we talked about breath at the beginning, and I just finished an article today that's coming out hopefully in February, and it's called The Mechanics of Breath, and the majority of people do not know how to breathe appropriately, and so they're maybe using 25, 30%, maybe 40% of their lung capacity, and so they're oxygen depleted. It's creating stress, anxiety, frustration, disease. It's, all the asthma, COPD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, so many things that we're looking at can all trace back to if we can learn and understand and implement the mechanics of breath, we can begin to heal.
So, but for someone to hear that, that wouldn't cognitively, what do you mean I need to breathe? I'm being the woman client that needs help, and I'm saying, what do you mean? So do they need to see testimony? Do they need to see other people that have, hey, this was Patty, look where she was a year ago? I mean, is that important?
Really?
Because we're deniers, we need to sometimes see proof. Is the proof in just getting to the next step? Or are they talking to other women that have gone through it and now they feel good about, hey, this is possible? How do you get them to say this is possible is what I'm saying.
I think for the work that Diane does, it has to come from where there's a client that has had the experience that they've had with Diane, and with me too, because now the person's like, oh my God, I feel so much better. You have to try this. I know you've got anxiety. You have to try this. And then going through 1 or 2 sessions with Diane, now they start to feel a little bit of a shift.
So if we had to encapsulate it in one sentence, it's really they're just not allowing themselves. It's the word allow. They're not allowing themselves to find a better way, to open up to the possibility, which is amazing.
Well, and I think it's also the fact that's why the center is there. It's to inform and educate and empower our community. I think people just don't know that breath is so important in our bodies. It's the same thing like when we talk about eliminating certain foods and now you're going to feel better. Like there's going to be things that are actually going to shift in your body. People say, really? If I breathe differently, I'm going to feel better? Like, could it really be that simple? It's the same thing about eliminating
Profoundly
foods
simple.
when we were talking about that with Dr. Denninger last week. So, yeah.
So when we talk about A Woman Alive and this, can we talk about the event?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
it? Yeah. Okay. It's January. We're talking about the event. You have something very special planned. Tell us about that and how that might get a person who's never really even heard about some of the things we're even talking about today could attend that event. And this is where I'm going, and I didn't realize I was going to go there.
And I'm like, yes, look where he went. It's perfect.
But there'll be testimony there. That's the thing.
That's it. So, yeah, that's it. So what you just said is so true, that when we have so much impossibility around us, to grab on to the magic of possibility is really challenging. And you are 100% correct that the way that people can grow, can change, is to hear testimony, to hear story. And so the event in March, on March 23rd, right here at the Port Jeff Village Center, is called Sharing Our Stories. And I have 7 pretty incredible women who are going to be sharing a story of transformation. And so some of the stories are really painful. Some of the stories are...
But they're all actual, and they're all stories of that person.
Yes. And they're all stories. It's not like, oh, this happened to me and then but they're stories. They're going to be told in a storytelling format. And, but they are all stories of the experience of possibility and transformation. Every single one of them.
Very cool. I think it's a groundbreaking idea.
Thank you.
Not that it doesn't exist on the stage somewhere, but for locality.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
groundbreaking.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
you're gonna have to talk.
nothing like this has been
Absolutely.
done in Port Jefferson, as far as I know of. So
Will it be 7, or will you end up with more speakers?
No, we're going to limit it to 7.
Okay.
Just because we want the attention span to be there. We have a really special woman, Nancy Berner, from Nancy Berner Associates. She's an elder care attorney who is a client and becoming a dear friend, and she's sponsoring the event. And she did a TEDx talk at Stony Brook. And part of that talk was talking about why it's so important for the elderly to share their stories. And so she's going to be doing an introduction about kind of what it means to share your story and why it's important. And then we'll have the 7 storytellers. And what's really great about the event is at the end of the event, I then coach from stage. And the purpose of that is to have the audience then share what they may have gotten from the event. So if something transformative happened for them in the hearing of the stories, they're going to have an opportunity to share that right at the event, at the venue. And I want to keep that time there. It's a really special time. I've done this event before, and I have a great story to share. I did this event before, and at the end I was coaching from stage, and an autistic woman stand up, and she was a young adult autistic woman, and she said, "I've been hiding," and just forgive me, I get pretty emotional. She said, "I've been hiding my whole life." And she goes, "Actually, I've kind of done a lot, like I'm doing okay." And she goes, "What I learned tonight is that I need to stand up and share my story." Right? And so it's literally like when you say how do we bring possibility to people? This is how. Because we share a story, then they share a story, then they share a story, and that's what will create beautiful
I
transformation.
couldn't agree more. Part of what we do here is just sharing
Yeah,
stories.
you're just sharing stories, yeah.
Why am I getting emotional now?
Welcome to my world.
it's pretty big stuff.
It's big stuff,
This is
you know.
big stuff.
And the great thing about it is, even if you just heard a word, a trigger word from
Right.
that story, you
Right.
go, "Oh, I have some experience
Yeah.
on it. Told about it."
Yeah.
Just like that. But you could have microphones on them if they want to talk. They can talk.
Oh, we're gonna have microphones on them, aren't we, Kevin?
They will be sharing stories, and they will know that, and that'll be good. That'll make them feel good.
Pretty
I
excited.
love it. So, you're right at the point where you're going to be letting the world know that this is happening, March 23rd.
We're there. We've got, if you go to the It Takes a Village website, our schedule, and scroll down to March 23rd, it'll be there. We're about to release flyers. We're still looking for sponsors. There's some beautiful sponsorship opportunities. We're
Let me
ready
know
to
about that,
go.
because that's what we do very well, those sponsorship
Yeah.
opportunities.
Yeah.
Let's get it out on the
Great.
Port Jeff Pulse.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
let the people of the community
Great.
know that, by the
Yeah.
way, it's so unique for a company to sponsor this,
Mm-hmm.
because deep down inside, we're all just human beings, and I think it's a great way to, what better thing can you
Totally.
sponsor?
Yeah, so we're just waiting for the sponsorship to be done by my designer.
Formatted. Yeah,
and
great.
We'll have everything
Fantastic.
finished. Yeah.
Before March 23rd, do you want to mention any events that are coming up for the community?
Yeah, got
Yeah,
a couple
let's
of
do it.
events. Yeah. Karen and I have an event we do together that
Yes.
I'm pretty excited about.
What's the date on that?
It starts on January 18th.
Yep,
Okay.
next Wednesday.
Okay, what is the event?
It's called Discover Your Body Within. And
Okay.
it's a yoga for weight loss series. It's a 6-week series. And anyone that decides to jump on board gets an hour and 15 minutes of yoga and then 45 minutes of coaching with Diane and myself.
Excellent.
Yeah, it's a great program, and it's a great way to introduce you to yoga and create strength and flexibility and mobility, and then also do some nutritional work, but in a little bit of a group setting.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we've done this class now 3 times,
Yes.
right? And it's been very well received by the community. They
Love
love
it.
it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everyone gets a workbook. They do food tracking, movement tracking. They get personal development audios, nutrition tips. It's kind of it's like, for Karen and I, we want to kind of hold our clients in our hands for those 6 weeks and really help them make that transition and feel that possibility, so
Right.
that after the 6-week program, they can move forward and really sustain a healthier lifestyle. That's our goal.
And typically, if there is room, I take the class with the students. So I'm doing the yoga with the class. So we're moving through the whole series together. If there's room. So
Maybe you'll have to come out with a whole new set of yoga clothing. What does one wear for yoga?
One wears tighter clothing so that you can move your body, like tight meaning sticking
Yeah,
to your
like-
skin,
Yeah.
but movable,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
spandex stuff.
yeah, stretchy.
Yeah.
There's tons of yoga clothing.
You got a lot
out
of
there.
places to go with
But
this
men
business.
can
I like
wear.
it.
Men could wear what?
Men can wear
Shorts,
like
yeah,
shorts.
Can we wear 80s spandex?
Yeah, you can wear 80s spandex. You can
You
wear
can wear
those
shorts with like
those
bicycle
like
shorts
soccer.
underneath.
Yeah.
Let me start. I'm being honest. I'm not kidding around.
Yeah.
I do want to start with some breathing aspects.
Yes.
Honestly,
Okay.
that's the truth, because I have not heard myself breathe except when I can't breathe, which is important. You want to hear yourself breathe when it's important.
Yes,
When you
yes,
just
yes.
won't. All right, so we have that series starting. Anything else before March 23rd? I just want to,
Yeah, before March 23rd, on January 22nd, we have a workshop that I do every year. I love it. It's called The Power of Intention and Commitment, Making Your Goals Really Happen. You get a workbook in the workshop, and it's a program that I created quite a while ago, and I have an ebook that goes with it that really teaches you how to set a goal, how to create, decide what you want your desired outcome to be, and then I walk you through steps to actually really make it happen.
Again, everybody needs that.
Everyone needs that, and all of these are on our website. If you
Let's
go
talk
to
about
our
the website
schedule,
URL. Is it takesavillage dot?
It takes a village wellness.
That's why I asked.
.com.
Okay, and your website, a woman.
awomanalive.com.
Perfect. Very cool. So we'll get a bunch of these things up for you. I
That would
thought
be
this was a
fabulous.
session for me. To be
Yay.
No, I mean this, to be
I'm glad.
amongst two women that know what the hell they're doing. I loved it.
Oh,
I really
thank
do.
you.
Thank you so much. I learned a lot, and I hope our audience did too. This is great stuff.
Yeah,
Really, thank
it
you.
is. Thank you.
Well, I'm very happy to be here. It was a fun day.
Thanks, Diane.
Thanks.